Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to do one thing. Go to your kitchen, fill a glass with clean water, and place it under your bed. That is all. But before you dismiss this as superstition, before your rational mind moves on, stay with me for the next few minutes, because what the Zen Buddhist monks understood about water, about energy, and about what happens to both while you sleep will completely change the way you think about this simple ancient ritual. And once you understand it, you will never go to bed without that glass again. In ancient Zen teaching, water is not simply a physical substance. It is the most receptive element in the natural world, the most sensitive, the most responsive to the invisible forces that move around and through us every single day. The monks observed this for centuries. They noticed that water placed in different environments behaved differently, not chemically, energetically. That water near conflict felt different from water near peace. That water left in a room after an argument felt heavier than water left in a room after meditation. They did not have the language of modern science to explain what they were observing, but they trusted what they observed, and they built an entire practice around it. There was a monastery in the mountains of ancient Tibet where this practice was considered as fundamental as meditation itself. The abbot of that monastery, a monk of extraordinary stillness named Master Tenzin, had introduced the water ritual to every student who came to study under him, without exception. Before teaching them anything else about meditation, about the sutras, about the path, he taught them about water. Understand water, he would say, and you will understand everything. One autumn, a young monk named Pema arrived at the monastery. Pema had come from a city. He was sharp, skeptical, and quietly proud of his rational mind. He respected the tradition. He would not have made the journey otherwise. But he had little patience for what he privately called superstition dressed in robes. On his first evening, Master Tenzin handed him a simple clear glass of water and told him to place it under his sleeping mat before bed. Pema looked at the glass, then at the master, then at the glass again. With respect, he said carefully, "What is this supposed to do?" Tenzin smiled. "Nothing," he said, "and everything. Place it there for 30 nights. Then come and tell me what you observed." Pema placed the glass under his mat that first night with the quiet skepticism of someone humoring an elder. He slept. He woke. He looked at the glass. It was still water. He noted nothing. He repeated this for a week. Nothing remarkable. He was almost satisfied in his skepticism, but somewhere around the 10th night, something shifted. He couldn't name it precisely. It wasn't dramatic, but his sleep, which had always been restless, populated by anxious circular dreams, was quieter. The dreams were still there, but they had lost their grip. He was waking up with less of the previous day still clinging to him. He told himself it was coincidence, adjustment to the new environment, the mountain air. He placed the glass under his mat again on the 11th night. By the 20th night, he could no longer explain it away. Something was genuinely different, not just in his sleep, in his waking hours too. He felt less cluttered, less reactive, as if a low-level noise he had been living with for so long he had stopped noticing it, had been turned down. He went to Master Tenzin. "Something is happening," he said. I don't understand it, but I cannot pretend it isn't real. The master nodded slowly. Sit with me, he said, and I will tell you what the water is doing. Every day, Tenzin began, you move through the world and you absorb. You absorb the energy of the conversations you had, the tension of the situations you navigated, the unresolved emotions that passed through you and found nowhere to go, the accumulated weight of other people's fear, frustration, and pain that you encountered without knowing you were encountering it. Most of this you do not consciously feel. It settles below awareness, into the body, into the nervous system, into the field of energy that surrounds and permeates you, and you carry it into sleep. He paused. Now, water, in our tradition, is the element of reception, of absorption, of holding. It is the most yielding substance in nature, and precisely because of its yielding, it is the most powerful conductor and container of energetic information that exists. When you place a glass of clean water beneath where you sleep, you are placing the most receptive substance in the natural world at the energetic center of your rest. And during the night, as your body and mind release what they have been carrying, as the layers of the day begin to dissolve in sleep, the water receives it, draws it, holds it, so that you do not have to. Pema leaned forward. And in the morning? He asked. In the morning, the master said, you take the glass from under the bed. You look at the water. Sometimes you will notice it looks slightly different, cloudier, heavier, more still than water usually appears. Sometimes you will notice nothing visible at all, but regardless of what you see, you take it to a drain or outside and you pour it away. And as you do, you say, silently or aloud, I release what no longer belongs to me. Then you rinse the glass, fill it with fresh water, and begin the day clean. He looked at Pema steadily. That is the entire ritual. No complexity, no ceremony, just water, intention, and the willingness to let go. But here is where Tenzin said something that Pema had not expected. The water, the master said quietly, is not magic. It is a mirror. What it actually does, perhaps more than anything energetic, is this. It makes the invisible visible. It gives you a daily practice of release that your mind can understand and participate in. A physical act that says, every single morning, I am not carrying yesterday into today. He paused. Most people carry everything. Yesterday's argument, last week's disappointment, the worry from 3 months ago that never fully resolved. They bring all of it into each new day without realizing it, and they wonder why they feel heavy, why they feel cluttered, why, no matter how much they sleep, they never feel fully rested. The glass of water is a reminder, a daily practice of beginning again, and the mind, which needs symbols, needs ritual, needs the physical to understand the invisible, responds to it deeply. Pema completed the 30 nights. On the morning of the 31st day, he went to Master Tenzin's room. He didn't say much. He simply bowed, with a depth and sincerity that he had not felt capable of on the day he arrived. Tenzin nodded. He understood. Now, the master said, you are ready to learn the rest. And this teaching reaches you now, in 2026, at exactly the right moment. Because in 2026, we absorb more than any previous generation in human history, the news, the notifications, the ambient anxiety of a world that never stops producing things to worry about, the conversations that leave residue, the scrolling that fills the mind with other people's emotions, other people's fears, other people's unresolved energy. We carry all of it into our homes, into our bedrooms, into our sleep, and we wonder why we wake up tired, why we feel even after 8 hours like something is still pressing on us that we cannot name. Tonight, the ritual is simple. Take a clean glass. Any glass, it does not need to be special. Fill it with fresh water from the tap. Hold it for a moment in both hands and say silently or aloud, "Tonight, receive what I cannot carry." Then place it under your bed, toward the head of the bed if possible, near where you sleep. Go through your usual evening ritual. Salt in your shoes, if you have been practicing that. 3 deep breaths. Your hand on your heart. Turn to your left and sleep. In the morning, before you do anything else, reach under the bed, take out the glass, look at the water for a moment, then take it to the sink, or outside if you prefer, and pour it away. Say, "I release what no longer belongs to me." Rinse the glass. Set it aside for tonight. That is all. That is the entire practice. Simple, ancient, free, and it works. It really works. Because what Master Tenzin understood, and what thousands of people are quietly rediscovering right now in 2026, is that the rituals that cost nothing are often the ones that give the most back. That the body and mind respond to intention made physical. That the act of releasing, even symbolically, even through something as ordinary as a glass of water poured down a drain, creates something real in you. A lightness, a beginning, a daily reminder that you are not your accumulated weight. You are what remains when that weight is released. Write in the comments, will you try this tonight? And if you have already done something like this, in any form, from any tradition, tell me what you experienced. This community holds these stories with great care, and your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear tonight.